Hello children, welcome to 19th video class. We are doing lesson 4. Do you remember that? I hope you have done all the lessons, lesson 3 question answers, and I hope every child is perfect with the exercises what we have done in the textbook and all the question answers what you have done in the classwork, and I hope all the diagrams also are perfect. Am I correct children? Okay, lesson 4. Lesson 4, we are learning adaptations in animals. In this lesson we are learning adaptations in animals. Do you remember anything what we have learned in last class? In last class we have learned habitat. What is habitat, my dear children? Yes, the place where particular type of plant or animal normally lives is called its habitat. I repeat, the place where particular type of plant or animal normally in normal conditions lives is called habitat. And next what we have learned, adaptation. Adaptation means changes brought about in structure, function or behavior of a living being in order to improve chances of its survival in a specific environment is called adaptation. Understand? Do you remember children? And next what we have learned, adaptations to different habitats. So what we have learned, it's not same for all the animals. All the animals' adaptation is not same. Different animals prefer different types of conditions and places for their survival. All the animals will not survive in one condition, one weather condition or one region. Understand children? Different animals prefer different types of conditions and places for their survival. Thus, they have developed different features which help them to survive in different situations. The process of change in features such as structure, function or behavior of living beings in order to improve chances of its survival in a specific environment is known as adaptation. So therefore there are two main types of adaptation. One is physical adaptation and second one is behavioral adaptation. Physical adaptation, they can change. Okay, they can change. Physical adaptation, those who can adapt to the changes manage to survive. They can survive. Those who are able to change, they can survive, whereas those who cannot adapt to changing environment, they die or else they extinct. Understand? So adaptation is compulsory. So we have to adapt to the nature. So then what else we have learned in the previous class? And then so physical adaptation and behavioral adaptation. Behavioral adaptation is a genetic. It's a genetic thing. So and next what we have learned children? Arboreal animals. What is arboreal animals? First of all, terrestrial animals we have learned adaptations to different habitats in terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals means, do you remember? Terrestrial means animals living on land. Animals living on land are called terrestrial animals. Under terrestrial animals we have learned arboreal animals. What is arboreal animals? Land animals living on trees are called arboreal animals. Understand children? So adaptations to different habitats, we have learned terrestrial animals. Under terrestrial animals we have terrestrial animals means animals living on land are called terrestrial animals. Under terrestrial animals we have learned again different types of animals. Among that, arboreal animals. What is arboreal animals? Land animals living on trees are called arboreal animals. Do you remember any examples of arboreal animals? Monkeys and some kind of snakes, squirrels. So these are the examples of arboreal animals. And what we have learned, summer sleep. we have learned. What is summer sleep? Do you remember, children? Some animals like snails and lizards sleep during the hot hours of daytime to protect themselves from heat. This is called summer sleep or aestivation. Spelling is Aestimation, children. Aestivation. Understand? And then what else we have learned? Winter sleep or hibernation. Some animals like bears, snakes, and ground squirrels become inactive and sleep during the cold weather. Why? Because they cannot survive with that cold condition. So that is the reason automatically body becomes inactive and becomes drowsy, so that they sleep to protect themselves. They sleep in the cold times, cold weather. So in polar region, cold weather continues for 6 months also. So some of the animals will be sleeping for 6 months. That process is called winter sleep or hibernation. Okay, hibernation. Some animals like bears, snakes, and ground squirrels become inactive and sleep during the cold weather to protect themselves from cold. This is called hibernation or winter sleep. And what we have learned in last class, camouflaging. What is camouflaging? Body color of some animals like zebra. You observe zebra, polar bear, and chameleon blend with their surroundings to save themselves. Chameleon means you can see in your surroundings. So when chameleon is on the green color branch, it can turn into green color. When chameleon is standing on the brown color branch, means the body can change into brown color, and it can crawl on the soil. When it is crawling on the sand, it can turn into red color. Okay, so the blending of to the body they can blend themselves to the surroundings, circumstances. Understand? So why they blend like that means to protect from the enemies. Okay, to protect. Same color means enemy cannot find out. So that is the reason enemy cannot make out that animal is standing there. So that is what they can blend themselves to the surroundings. So that is called, that change of thing is called camouflaging. Body color of some animals like zebra, polar bear, and chameleon blend with their surroundings to save themselves from their enemies is known as camouflaging. Understand, children? And these things we have learned. And also important thing is adaptation. Adaptation is the ability of an animal to adjust to its environment. It is a great ability to the animal. So we also change according to the circumstances. So we have that great ability. Animals has great ability to change themselves to the environment. So according to their physical and behavioral adaptation, they seek the ways to protect themselves. Understand? Animals depend on their physical features to help them obtain food, keep safe, build homes, withstand weather, etc. Understand? So these are the things we have learned in previous class, and one more. So that is the reason adaptation is very important for life to continue. If they are not able to adapt, what happens, children? If they are not able to adapt, they may die or they may extinct. Or if they adapt, what happens? We can survive the life. Okay, those who can adapt to the changes manage to survive, continue the life. For the life survival, adaptation is must, compulsory. Understand? So simple way you remember, those are able to adapt, they can survive with the life. Those are not able to, animals, those are not able to adapt themselves to the environment, they may die or slowly they may extinct. Understand? And in today's class we are going to learn adaptation in aquatic animals. What is the meaning of aquatic animals? Aquatic animals means animals which live in water are called aquatic animals. Okay, Animals which live in water are called aquatic animals. So now, adaptations in aquatic animals. What are the adaptations in aquatic animals? What are the physical adaptations? What are the behavioral adaptations in aquatic animals? We will learn in this today's class. Aquatic animals are the animals that live only in water. Okay, only in water. For example, you take fish. Fish only can survive in water. Understand? And what can you give some more examples? Seahorse, all so many varieties of fish. So many varieties of fish can survive in water. And seahorse, octopus, octopus also only in water it can live. And when it comes out of the water, they die. They may die after some time, maybe after 1 hour. Some fish after few hours, and octopus also after some hours. After some hours, they may die. Only in water. Aquatic animals means only in survive. They can survive only in water. Animals which live only in water are called aquatic animals. They have features that help them to live in water. Whatever physical features they have, they help them to survive in water, to live in water. Their physical features adapt to that circumstances. Understand, children? Aquatic animals have a streamlined or spindle shaped body that help them to move through water. Understand? Because of streamline means that is one shape. Okay, the fish has whatever shape, no, that is a streamlined shape, is that is called streamlined shape. So that shape can be helped to move in water. Understand? So, and one more thing is, so that because of that streamlined shape of the body only it can survive. Understand? And one more thing, you may get doubt, where do they get oxygen to breathe? Do you know that, children? I hope you know. Okay, do you know where the fish get, not only fish, where does aquatic animals get oxygen to breathe? They have to breathe. All the living beings breathe. You know that to survive we have to breathe. So where do they get oxygen to breathe? So there is a certain amount of oxygen dissolved in water. There is a certain amount of oxygen. So may not be much, because the open air, how much ever oxygen is present, so that much will not be present in the dissolved in the water. Some little less quantity of amount of oxygen is dissolved in water. That dissolved oxygen only this aquatic animals breathe and they survive. A streamlined, did you understand now? So they for to their survival they breathe oxygen. Which oxygen? The dissolved oxygen in the water they breathe and they survive. Understand? A streamlined animal has a shape that allows it to move quickly or efficiently through water. Streamlined body. A bird also has streamlined body. So that is a shape, that is related to the shape. So because of that shape it can move quickly and also efficiently through water. Understand? So that is the reason only fish can move easily in the water. And most of them have fins or limbs that help them to swim in water. Aquatic birds like duck and geese have webbed feet which act as pedals and help them to push water back and move forward while swimming. Understand? So first of all, what is fins and limbs? Okay, we'll see the word. That's the new words are fins or limbs. It is a collective term of arms and legs. Fins means together, arms and legs, called as fins or limbs. Understand? So, and what do we do with the bicycle pedals? Let us learn. Pedals means, you are seeing the new word pedals there. First of all, bicycle, everyone knows bicycle. Bicycle has pedals. When you when you are using those pedals, bicycle move forward, right? So then what happens? What is the use of pedals in the bicycle? We push them back so that bicycle moves forward direction, right? In the same way, duck. So we have learned in the lesson, duck is a aquatic bird. Duck and geese are the aquatic birds. They can survive in the water as well as on the land. How they can survive in the water? So duck can push the water. Duck has webbed feet. Webbed feet means between the fingers we have 5 fingers, right? 5 fingers are individually, they are not connected. They are connected but down. You can move alone also. Each finger you can move, you can individually close and you can open each finger. But whereas a duck has webbed feet. Webbed feet means they cannot, fingers will be connected. They cannot close or open individually. Okay, they'll be connected with the thin layer of skin. All the fingers can be connected. So that is that kind of thing. Feet are called webbed feet. Understand, children? So in the duck can push the water with the help of webbed feet. So it moves forward while swimming. When it is in the water with the webbed feet, you see, when duck is in the water, the webbed feet can be helpful. Which among all the body, which part can be used to move in the water means that is only webbed feet. With the help of webbed feet, it can push the water back and then duck can move forward. Okay, duck can move in the forward direction. Understand, children? And what else we have learned? We have to learn in the aquatic animals. So this you understood, no? Pedals means what is the use of pedals in the aquatic birds body, and what are fins and limbs? Fins and limbs are collective terms or term of arms and legs together are called limbs. And then pedals means what is the use of pedals in the aquatic birds and how they are helping. So that you have I hope you understood that. And then how they breathe. They breathe dissolved oxygen in the water. But what is the organ? Which organ? With which organ they breathe? Fish have gills to breathe inside water. Okay, fish has gills. Fish use gills to breathe. That's what you can see when you observe in the aquarium. You can observe that side of the fish body, gills. They'll be, however, whenever they are breathing, they'll be opening and closing. Means exhale and inhale. When they are taking oxygen inside, they open the gill. Gill will be opened, and as it goes, oxygen goes inside. When they are send inhale time, again they open. Right? Inhale and exhale time, that gills opens and closes. Right? So fish have gills to breathe inside water. But there are some exceptions like whales and dolphins which have lungs to breathe. Why do they have lungs to breathe? Why do they have lungs to breathe? Because the size of the why whales and dolphins have lungs to breathe. Whales cannot breathe underwater because they are mammals. This means that their breathing organs are lungs rather than gills. Whereas for the fish, what are the organs to breathe? That is gills. But what about whales and dolphins? Whales and dolphins has lungs. Okay, though they are aquatic animals, they have lungs to breathe. Whales need to come to the surface to take long breath. Whales need to come to surface of the water to take long breath of fresh air. That is the reason you can observe in the National Geographic channel, you can see when they are showing oceans, whales will be coming out and jumping, and then while they are coming out of, when they sometimes they keep the face part out of the water, they'll be they'll be standing for long time. What they'll be doing that time? They'll be taking fresh air, they'll be breathing fresh oxygen. Okay, so why? Because so they can when they go into the water, they can reuse this oxygen. Okay, they can hold the breath and they can reuse this oxygen which is present in the body, and they can survive for some hours together. They can survive when they go underwater. Understand? So they take long breath when they and when they underwater, they hold their breath. When they are under the water, they hold the breath, and then when they come out, they take fresh breath. So that for some hours when they are underwater, they can survive with this with the whatever oxygen is present in the body. With that oxygen itself, they hold the breath and they can survive when they are in the water. I hope you understood, children. Fish can. What are the organs in the fish? Gills. Gills are the organs in the fish to breathe. And what are the organs in the dolphins and whales? Dolphins and whales organs are lungs. Okay, to breathe. What are the organs? Lungs. Understand? You can observe some pictures in the screen, children. So, sorry. You can observe the picture. You are seeing fish. Okay, octopus you are seeing, dolphin you are seeing. Okay, and some one kind of fish you are seeing. So these are the animals which can survive in the water. So these animals are called aquatic animals. Clear, children? And what is a aquatic bird? Duck is a aquatic bird. Understand? So this is the information you have to remember in adaptation in aquatic animals. Understand? So remember, dolphins and whales has lungs to breathe. When they are underwater, they can hold the breath and they can survive whatever oxygen is present in the body. With that oxygen, they can survive for few hours. Understand? And again, after some hours, they can come out of the water. They take long breath and again they go under the water. Remember this, and then we'll move to the next screen. In the next screen, we are seeing adaptation in amphibians. Adaptations in amphibians. First of all, what is amphibian? Amphibians are the animals that live both on land and in water. Okay, as you know that, as you listen this, one animal is in your mind. What is that? Frog. Exactly, frog is a animal. And also this tortoise. Tortoise also can survive in the water as well as on the ground. And one more animal. What is the one more animal, children? Crocodile. Exactly, crocodile is another. It is also amphibian, and it can but frog continuously, but hours together, it can survive on the on the land as well as in the water. But this you take crocodile, and crocodile can survive only for some time. It can crawl on the land, but it cannot survive on the land. But whereas frog, completely it can survive on the land. Okay, so amphibian, best example of amphibian means frog. And also toads. And toads and frogs are the examples of amphibians. Toads and frogs are completely, they can survive in the water, or else completely they can survive on the land. Am I clear, children? And some like a crocodile and some kind of snakes and some kind of lizards, and they can survive in the water. Only in the water they can survive, or else only for some time they can survive on the land, or else only can survive survive for some time in the water. Either this or that. But completely means only toads and frogs. Frogs and toads are the examples of amphibians. Understand? So frogs and toads are some examples of amphibians. They have adaptations to live both land and water. They have the adaptation. But what kind of adaptations they have? Let us see. what kind of adaptations in amphibians to survive in both land and water. Understand? Frogs and toads have webbed feet that help them swim or pedal in water. Okay, when we are talking about duck, I told about webbed feet. Webbed feet means in between the fingers, the thin layer of skin will be skin will be helpful to push the water. That skin helps to push the water back, and that can move forward. Understand? So frogs and toads both have webbed feet to help them to swim or paddle in water. It means when they are in the water, with the help of webbed feet, they can move, they can push the water back with the webbed feet, and then body can move forward in forward direction. Understand, children? And that is the one adaptation. Okay, that is the one adaptation to survive in the water. And their back legs are stronger than their front legs. Back legs are stronger than their front legs. Understand? Try to understand. Back legs are stronger than front legs. That is the reason help them to jump and move on land. You observe today itself, if you find around in your circumstances, if you are able to observe frog, you can observe when it is on the land, how does it move? It can take the back legs support. Okay, back legs, with the back legs they push the entire body, they lift and they jump. The entire body can hold on the back legs, they jump. Okay, take the entire body on the back legs and take a jump. With the help of front legs, it stand again on the land. Understand? So that is the reason back legs are very, very strong than front legs. Their back legs are stronger than their front legs, and they help them to jump and move on the land. Did you understand? So now, to survive in the water, in the amphibians, when they are able to survive in the water, what they use, with the help of webbed feet. And when they are survive on the land, they are using the back legs. With the back legs support, the entire body can hold on the back legs, and they can take a jump, and body can move in the forward direction. Understand? They have moist skin to breathe inside water, and lungs to breathe on land. So from this, what did you understand? So a frog can breathe with skin and also can breathe with lungs. When it is in the water, because of it has moistured skin, it can breathe. Moistured skin, it can breathe the dissolved oxygen which is present in the water. Understand? So, but whereas when it comes out of the water, when it is on the land, it has lungs. Frog has lungs to breathe. Understand? So in respiratory systems, two organs are there in amphibians. So that is the reason on land and also in water, in both the places, it can survive completely. Understand? When it is in the water, completely it depends on the skin to breathe. Okay, moisture skin to breathe, and when it is on the land, with the help of lungs, they breathe. That is the speciality. That is the special adaptation in amphibians. Understand? Frogs and toads both can breathe with the skin when they are in the water. Both can breathe with the lungs when they are on the land. Okay, they have moist skin to breathe inside water and lungs to breathe on land. That is a special feature. Only among all these so many kinds of animals are there on the land. Okay, but this is a special feature for the amphibians. Two organs to in the respiratory system. With two organs they can breathe. Okay, that is when they are on land, they breathe with the lungs, and then when they are in the water, they breathe with the moistured skin. Understand? That is a special adaptation in amphibians. Understand, children? And then let us move to the next screen. In the next screen, we are going to learn adaptations in aerial animals. Adaptations in aerial animals. What is the meaning of aerial animals? Animals that fly are called aerial animals. Animals that fly are called aerial animals. What are the adaptations in aerial animals? Means how they are able to survive in the air, how they can fly. What are the physical adaptations? What are the physical adaptations to support fly? What are the physical adaptations to move easily in the air? Let us see in the lesson. Aerial animals are the animals that fly. Birds are the example for the aerial animals. Understand? What is the example, children? Immediately, so many lakhs of birds, varieties of birds are there. All the birds can fly in the air. So that is what aerial animals example is birds. Okay, and then birds are the example for the aerial animals. On which, what is a special adaptation to fly? What is a special adaptation to fly? Let us see. Birds have hollow bones, whereas our bones are filled with bone marrow. That is what? Bone weight we have. Okay, not only muscle weight, we have bone weight. Whereas you take in birds has hollow bones. Okay, hollow means empty. Okay, empty bones. Birds have hollow bones that make their body light. Okay, you compare with us. Our bones has filled with bone marrow. That is the reason our bones has weight, and our entire body also gets some weight, because half of the body has bone weight only. In our weight, half of the weight is bone weight. But whereas half the weight is reducing in birds. Understand? Why? Because their bones are hollow. That is the reason only they are able to fly. Suppose if we have hollow bones, means we also would have been fly, right? So because of birds has empty bones, their bodies are light, so easily they can lift the body. Because of hollow bones, they can lift the body. But to move forward, okay, forward direction, feathers are helping. Okay, those feathers are pushing the air back. With the feathers, they push the air back. When they are pushing the air back, body moves forward. Body goes in forward direction. Understand, children? So two special features in birds. You can observe two special features. First special feature is bones are hollow. Okay, that is the reason they have very light weight, and they have feathers on their body to keep them warm, and also the streamlined body help to fly. And with the help of streamlined body, they can cuts. When we are going in the vehicle, how we take cuts, in the same way bird also can take cuts. Cut means direction. They can change the direction with the help of feathers. They can change the direction, and they can go ahead. Understand? They have a streamlined body that help them to cut through the air and fly easily. Understand? Now, first feature is hollow bones. Because of hollow bones, birds has very light weight. Body has very light, and then with the help of feathers, it can fly. And also with the help of feathers, it can change the direction of moving, and also feathers keep the body warm. Because of bones are hollow, body mustn't get much strength, much warm will not be. Okay, if bones are hollow, blood will not be, right? So then if we have blood in the body, our body temperature will be maintained. But whereas in birds, the temperature cannot be maintained because of hollow bones. That's a reason. And then what is a modification for that? What is the adaptation for that adjustment? For that adjustment, adaptation is feathers. Physical adaptation is feathers. Because of it has feathers, the entire body can kept it warm. Okay, the entire body can keep in warm condition, and also those feathers will be helpful when they are flying. Feathers are helpful when they are flying. Did you understand? So in this aerial animals also, two special adaptations. One is hollow bones and one is feathers. Because of these two special adaptations, birds can fly. Understand? Am I clear, children? So then their front limbs are modified as wings, with wings that help them to fly. Front limbs are modified as wings. Their front limbs are modified as wings, and that help them to fly, and that help them to keep the body warm. Understand? Feathers. So we have two legs and two hands. Okay. So front limbs means limbs are modified as wings, and on that wings feathers will be. Those feathers keeps the body warm. Understand? And then and those feathers will be, those wings will be helpful to fly and also change the direction. With the help of wings, it can fly. With the help of front limbs, it can fly in the air. And those limbs are covered with that front wings are covered with feathers. Those feathers keeps the body warm. Okay, keeps the body warm, and also to change the direction, to change the direction, and to push the air back. Okay, to push the air back, feathers are helpful. Understand? So the special feature is bones are hollow, and next feature is birds has feathers. Those feathers keep the body warm. And third special feature is front limbs are modified as wings. Front limbs are modified as wings. With the help of wings, it can fly in the air, and also it can change the direction of moving. Understand, children? So with this we will wind up today's lesson, and then I hope you understood the lesson, children. As you listen this video, read today's lesson where we have started. We have started at adaptation in amphibian, and we have done adaptation in we have started with adaptation in aquatic animals, and we have done adaptation in amphibian, and we have done adaptation in aerial animals. These three topics we have learnt. So read these three topics from the textbook. Read again and again so that you will become thorough with the content. And remember with the keywords. Remember the keywords. Entire lesson as it is. If you are not able to remember, then you put some keywords. Aquatic animals, put some keywords. Amphibians, pick up some keywords. And aerial animals, pick up some keywords. Okay, and when you are learning the question answers, those keywords definitely will be helpful to learn the question answers. Understand? Only to become thorough, you have to read the lesson again and again, so that after completing the lesson you will get question answers. Those question answers easily you can learn. Is it okay, children? I hope you understood the lesson, and also definitely you will read the lesson after listening the video. Read the lesson again and again, observe some pictures, and then you can get some more knowledge by watching the videos, and then try to improve the content in the lesson. Okay, and move to the homework. Read lesson 4, page number 31 to 34, and then page number 34, match the following. You have, children, under adaptation in aerial animals, you have a match the following. Okay, that is, they crawl on land, their tails help in climbing trees, they store fat in their hump, gills help them breathe in water on your left hand side in column A. Column B, you have fish, snakes, monkeys, camels. Okay, so for example, they crawl on land. From the column B, which answer you will choose? Snakes, means B. In between of these, you put a arrow marks. You put B in the in between you put a brackets. In the bracket you have to write B. Remember children, don't draw lines to match the following. You have to take bracket in between, and then you write in the bracket appropriate answer. They crawl on land. In between you put the bracket. In bracket, what do you write? B you have to write. Why? Because snakes is the answer. So snakes, for the snakes, option is given as B. So B you have to write in the bracket. Then their tails help in climbing trees. What is the answer for this? Monkeys. Monkeys option is C. So you have to put bracket here, right? 4 questions, 4 brackets you put in center straight to the question. And then in the second bracket, what do you write? C, option C. Okay, in the second bracket you write option C. Those brackets, where do you write? In between of this column A and column B, you put 4 brackets, one under the other. First answer is B, and then next is C. What is the next one? They store fat in their humps. They store fat in their hump. What is the answer for that? Camels. Camels can store fat in the hump. So what is the option for that? D. So opposite to question 3, in that bracket you write D. Understand? And the next gills help them breathe in water. Fish is the answer. What is the option for that? A. So A, in the bracket you are supposed to write A. Understand? So your answers would be in center, 4 brackets you write between the column A and column B, one under the other. And first option, in the first bracket B you write, and in the second bracket C you write, and in the third bracket you write D, and in the fourth bracket you write A. So in that way you have to match. Understand? With the left side you have to match the right hand side. Understand? But I don't expect drawing lines in the match the following. Okay, don't draw lines in the match the following. You have to write brackets and pick up the option from column B and then write the option. Understand children? So listen the lesson carefully and try to understand the concept thoroughly, and to make yourself thorough, read the textbook again and again, and definitely you will become thorough with the content. Understand children? Thank you. Happy learning. God bless you children.